Hey y'all. If you haven't had the opportunity to check out the latest video, please do so. In that video, I kind of shared with my guest Fee, and I opened up a little bit more about, how to take care of yourself. But more importantly, it led us into a discussion about mental health. Mental health has been, a topic of conversation, I feel like, recently, but truly it's something that a lot of people struggle with, just making sure that their mind, body, soul, everything is like on point. But in that episode, she kind of opened up about her struggles, and that also led me to share me going to therapy. A lot of times when we mention the word therapy, it's like, what? Why would you go to therapy? Why would I pay somebody to talk about my problems? But low key, it's truly helped me a lot, and it's helped me to like discover like new things about myself. So I can admit that I was one of those people that had that air about it. Like I was a bit, turned off by that. I felt like people would think I was crazy. Just like all the negative things that you could think of when it comes to like going to go see somebody to, basically self-evaluate. We all have flaws, but do we really want them pointed out? The answer would be no. However, it definitely helps you to grow and like be a better person. But not only that, just like in our community, and when I say our, I mean African American culture, a lot of times we don't really talk about our problems. It's more of a kind of get over it, work through it, you'll be fine. Definitely pray about it, kind of mentality. So sometimes, whether it's good or bad, we don't always share everything that's going on in our lives. But I definitely think that, you should open up and like talk to somebody. I mean, if you're not ready to take that step to actually see a therapist, I would definitely recommend to write your thoughts and feelings down. I kind of did that during a time that was kind of fucked up, if you will. I had a lot of things running through my mind, a lot of things happened to me that I've never really opened up or shared truly. But depression is like a crazy thing for sure. You read about it, you hear about it, you may have someone who's going through it, but like when you are truly in that state of mind, it's like you are clouded, like everything is just weighing on you. It's like you can't get out of that situation. But one thing that kind of helped me was to write in my journal. More so, actually, I typed it because I'm more of a typer than a writer, if you will. So I was like typing out like all my feelings for that day. And I made a commitment to myself to write every single day. So I think it was like 2017 maybe. I definitely committed to writing or typing in my journal like every single day. So I have 365 days worth of, journal entries. To this day, I have not looked at it. I don't know, it might bring up some more emotions that maybe I just don't want to deal with right now. But, maybe I will, maybe I won't, but I have that as a guide, to also kind of give me a reminder of I'm not in that place anymore. you know, talking about your feelings and, you know, trying to work through tough situations. My tough situation kind of started when my mom passed away. So that was a real moment for me. I mean, I've had, you know, people in my family die before, but, you know, of course, those moments are sad, but it's nothing like losing a parent. And especially for me, female, you know, losing my mom was like a huge shock to me. You know, for a while, I just kind of suppressed everything. I don't know, it was just really odd. Well, I guess not odd, I guess it's kind of normal. Because to be fair, that's truly how I just deal with anything and everything that happens. Like, I'll just tuck it down and save that for never. But yeah, it truly fucked me up, to say the least. You know, at the time I was living in North Carolina, but, you know, my dad had called and, you know, at the time I didn't hear the phone call. So, of course, when you wake up eventually, and you see your phone with like a million missed calls, you kind of, you're like, what the hell's going on? So I called and my aunt answered my dad's phone, and sadly that aunt that answered the phone had passed away as well, in 2016. I don't know, it's just hard for me to think because I try not to think about it. But yeah, so I got the phone call, or I made the phone call, and, you know, they were just like, hey, you and your sister need to come home, you know. So we drove, more or less I sped, to Virginia, and, you know, got to the hospital and all that stuff, you know, but unfortunately my mom, you know, was pretty much gone, you know, by the time we got there. So yeah, that was kind of rough. But I just remember, like, not really crying about it or anything like that, you know, especially after they ran multiple tests and all that kind of stuff. You know, it was just a shock, honestly. Like, it was just a shock. Like, I know I keep saying that, but that's truly all it felt like, because it was like we had just spent time with her, celebrated my sister's birthday, and then like a couple days later, like, this happens. So I mean, I can truly say that's what kind of put me in a momentary spiral, because, you know, you have those moments, but at the time, it just takes your breath away, in a sense. You know, to have your parent who's been with you, obviously, through life and helped you with certain things, you know, that really can weigh on you and take a toll on you, mentally, for sure. But for me, it was more like, you know, it was just in the back of my head. Like, after we had the burial and everything, it was just like, man, you know, I never wanted to go to the site, or anything like that. As much as my dad and my sister try to force me to go, it just wasn't a thing for me. Like, I just couldn't go. And truly still to this day, like, it's not really something that I want to go or deal with her face. So with that, I just started, like, just not caring about things, honestly. I would go to work, do what I had to do, come home, and basically do it on repeat, be like a zombie, honestly. And then, of course, like, other things came into play, like losing my job and, just trying to figure out what the hell I'm gonna do. And, my next steps, because, you gotta pay the bills. But, I was in such a chaotic state that I just truly lost myself for a moment. Nothing can describe that time of how I felt, because there's truly no words for it. Like, I was just lost in a chaotic state. That's probably, like, the best way I could describe it. So for anybody who's lost a parent, or, anyone that has been super close to you, you kind of understand what I'm talking about. Also with that was something that, you just hadn't really had to think about or whatever. And, like I said, during that time, it was at night or early morning, when those phone calls and text messages were coming. So of course, again, that was kind of messing with my mental. Like, I couldn't sleep. And then when I finally was able to get to sleep, I had to get up and go to work, So I think it just kind of messed with me internally. So it's just like, if I stay up, like, I'll be there for, like, the next call that happens or something like that. You know what I mean? I don't really know, like, truly what that means or where that comes from, but it was just, like, super hard for me to sleep, because I just always thought, like, something bad was going to happen, or, if I was sleeping, then I would miss an important phone call or something like that. So for a long time, I just could not sleep at all. So that was pretty bad. So again, it was just like, I was just walking through life, just kind of like, what do I do next? Kind of situation. But, during that time, I still never really saw or sought help, per se. Like, you talk to your family and stuff like that, but I'm the type of person who, when things happen, I just kind of shut down a little bit. Like, I just don't want to deal with it. I don't want to talk about it. So for the longest time, people ask me, oh, how are you? Blah, blah, blah. I'm okay. I'm good. But the shitty thing is when, if people don't know, they'll be like, oh, yeah, how's your mom? And it's like, she's dead. Like, what the fuck are you supposed to say? I mean, obviously, probably not in those words, but you know what I mean? It's just like, yeah, she passed away. And then there goes those awkward silence and, oh, I'm so sorry, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I get it, but that doesn't help me get over the loss. Obviously it's something hard that I still struggle with every day. Like, that's my mom. I wish she was still here. So that truly sucks. But yeah, so that was like a true catalyst, I guess, that kind of like made me not be okay. um so with that, again, still just kind of like walking through life and just trying to figure things out. But we can fast forward to, oh man, I don't even know when I first started. Like, when you go through a lot of different things in your life and like the weight is just on your shoulders, you just feel that pressure, and it was a moment when, again, at night, I'm just chilling, sitting on my bed, and I'm just like, I have to make a freaking phone call. Like, I have to figure this out, because the way I'm living is not cool for anyone. So I decided to use my employer's services. So I definitely called to get information on therapists in the local area, because again, this is something that I never had to deal with or anything like that. So I got the list of people, but still at that point I still was dragging my feet, because again, had that stigma. It's therapy. Like, do I really need this? Should I really go? Like, I've already talked to my friends about this. I've already talked to my sister about this. Like, I'm good, but truly, no, bitch, you're not good. But I probably sat on those names of therapists for probably a good 2 weeks before I was like, okay, I need to call. So before I called, I definitely went through the list and searched them and tried to find, therapists that could truly help me for all the stuff that I was going through. And so I did find one, and she's amazing. So she's definitely helped me with a lot of things that I need to work on a little bit more, as well as, just opening up and just learning different ways of communication, because as you guys know, I stated in my first episode that my mouth gets me in trouble a lot. So even though I'm not meaning truly everything I'm saying, I know that person probably may take it a different way than how it was delivered, because you never know what someone's going through, for sure. So that one remark could have totally set them off, or put them in another headspace that they weren't trying to be in. So I'm just working on different things, and I definitely recommend you seek help. A lot of times when we go through things, you think you're alone, but more than not, someone's either gone through it, currently going through it. So, just open up and talk. Like, if it's to your best friend, like, we all have that judgment factor. Because I feel like the first person I told was probably my cousin, because we're like super tight, so I tell him everything. But it's just cool that, having that support from him, and then of course, with my sister. It's just been really great to just be able to be free and like kind of talk about whatever the case may be. So, therapy definitely is a helper. And no, you're not crazy. If you go seek a therapist, they are there to help you. With all the circulation about mental health and all that stuff, they're always like, well, if you're not feeling well, you'll go see a doctor. If you have a toothache, you'll go see your dentist, stuff like that. So it's like, why wouldn't we go see someone to help us with our mental state? Like, we're strong, but you can't do everything yourself. You need help. Like, everyone's had some type of help along the way. But it also goes into, your business mentality as well. My side hustle, if you will, is building my softball business. And I am also a coach. And, sometimes you second guess yourself. I know I did after our round of games this past weekend, but I just have to realize that I wanted to start something and create it, and I have done that. So, yay, check for me. But more importantly, the girls that I have on my team, I definitely just want to build them and make them better athletes, better young ladies, and better students. I want them to be all around great, female athletes. And so I have to take, some of the good with the bad. So coaching is definitely eye-opening. But, like I said, it can create a little bit of self-doubt. And in that you might feel like you might not be good enough, or am I doing the right thing? Am I helping them? So, that also plays into a bit of your mental state as well. But I just would truly say that from a person who was on the other side of therapy, it really helps. And I encourage you, if you're watching this video, to, take one small step to going out there and doing research. Find someone that fits your criteria. But in the meantime, I would just say, get a journal, get your phone, whatever the case may be. If you are better with music, like, listen to music, write music, just do something to help you feel better and get over, I shouldn't say get over it, because it's like you never truly get over it, but to help get you to being more free with yourself and allowing yourself to truly feel those feelings. That's definitely one thing my therapist has taught me, because I do keep a lot of stuff inside, and I never want people to see that side of me or whatever. I am a strong individual, but I have my sensitive moments as well. But yeah, through it, it's definitely helping me to come to terms and be more at peace with the passing of my mom, and just other things that I've gone through, as far as relationships and all that kind of crazy. relationships are hard work, and let's just say I'm glad to be where I'm at right now. Without saying too much, I guess. Yeah, so again, I hope you guys learned a little bit of the story, and I just want everyone to, be good and feel good. So definitely take those steps to being a better you. So I hope you guys liked this episode. I know it wasn't too much about business building or anything like that, but I just felt it necessary to kind of share what I'm about a little bit more, and to just let you guys know that I don't have it all together. But then again, who does? But it's just like, there's nothing wrong with you, or nothing wrong with you going to go see a therapist. But if you guys have questions about my journey and like what I'm going, or what new things that I'm doing or anything like that, definitely email me, comment. I'd love to hear from you guys. So until the next time, I want you guys to keep creating and stay positive. Bye.